to another episode of the Bottom of the Stream Movie Show. My name is Adam.
My name is Nick. Welcome back to Bottom of the Stream, where every week we are searching Netflix for some hidden gem movies.
We are indeed. We are scouring the bottom of the stream to try and see if we can bring something to the top. That's not a way I've described it before, but that's what I've gone with. And this week, Robin, our randomizer, chose us a movie called Prey. Prey was released in 2021. It's a 15. It runs for 1 hour and 27 minutes and is currently rated at 4.3 out of 10 on IMDb. 4.3, Nick.
I mean, not impressive as a rating.
It's not an impressive rating.
No.
It's a low rating, really.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's what it is. It is a Netflix original and it is in German. This movie stars a guy called David Kross. He plays Roman.
Not David Kross from Arrested Development.
Not David Kross from Arrested Development.
Sketches with Bob Odenkirk.
However, you might know this guy.
May I?
May. He's in Warhorse.
I've never seen it.
I've never seen it either. And he's also in The King's Man.
I have seen that. So
prequel to The King's Man.
I would have seen him on my TV.
So yeah, you'll have seen him in that. Also stars a guy called Hanno Koffler. He plays Albert. And more interestingly, the most interesting thing I found in this movie is that this guy stars Robert Finster.
Okay.
He plays Peter.
Yes, Peter was the angry man.
The angry man. He's been on this show before,
no way.
Believe it or not. Not only that, he's been in definitely the worst film we've ever done on this show.
Oh, really?
He was in Apocalypse, Please.
Oh, that's right down there, certainly. Okay. That was an Austrian movie, wasn't it?
It was,
about the guys planning for the end of the world.
Guy.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was about. It didn't have any sort of narrative to it. I don't understand how any of the people in that movie have gone on to have a career.
Fair play to him.
Absolutely fair play to him.
He's pretty good in this.
He is pretty good in this. He's annoying in it, but he's pretty good in it. But yeah, it blew my mind when I saw that somebody from
crazy.
Apocalypse Please had done something else.
Full circle moment, that is.
Absolutely,
for this
it
podcast.
really is. This movie was written by Sonia Hewers and Thomas Sieben.
Okay.
Although they are the only two people credited with writing this movie, but they're both credited as idea.
Oh, interesting.
But there's no actual writers credited.
Well, I had to double check because, and I couldn't see anything that this was based on a book. There's a book, isn't there? And
is there? I don't know.
There is basically this movie, and I can't remember. I feel like I've seen this movie before, but in English.
Yeah, maybe. We've done something. We did that one where that guy...
Caliber.
Went to no, I wasn't thinking Caliber. I was thinking the one where they went to that wellness camp and the guy there started attacking them all. What was that called? Where the guy got shot.
With Johnny Galecki?
No, the main character got shot towards the end. He was getting in his car and he got shot.
Yes,
he got killed.
Yeah,
he was the main character.
Yes, Below Zero. No, not Below Zero. One of them. Yeah, it did really well in us.
It did. It was done really well in one of our charts.
I know which one you mean. Yes,
I can't.
But that was in snow.
Yes, it was. That's the film that reminded me.
And we also had, thinking of similar movies, we had Red Dot, which was basically movie, but it was a couple.
Yeah.
Avoiding a sniper, and that was also in the snow. This is in the woods.
This is in the woods, not the snow. So that's maybe where you're getting that from.
Maybe.
That we've done this movie 3 times before. If you count Caliber as well. We've done this movie 3 times before, and this is the 4th time we're doing it. This movie was also directed by Thomas Sieben, but there's nothing about him on the internet. Do you have a one-word review of Prey, Nick?
Not the Predator movie.
Not the Predator movie. Do you think this is the only Netflix original and Disney Plus original that have got the same name?
Probably not, but yeah.
It's unusual, isn't it? Where does the movie start, Nick?
We have a quote on the screen, which, until I look at my notes now, I had totally forgotten was the start of this movie.
Don't even think I saw it.
It says, our history is an aggregate of our last moments.
Oh, right. Okay.
And then
this movie starts.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
And then we cut to a couple in love on a beach.
Yes, 2 people swim and kiss is my first note.
They just generally canoodle in the surf.
Just enjoying a nice day at the beach. Having fun, swimming and kissing. They're a very loving couple, I think we would say. And then we hit the title card. And then we meet 5 guys who are canoeing.
Yeah, in the forest.
They are they
are kayaking down a river.
They are. There's 3 in one kayak and 2 in another. And
they're really happy.
They're having a great
boys'
day.
weekend.
They're having a great time by the looks of it. 4 boys or guys, men,
5.
30s,
Yeah.
mid-30s. They're having some fun in the water. They're like gaming about in the water after they park their canoes.
Oh, they do. Yeah, they park the canoes and then they do like
park a canoe,
piggyback. You probably rope it,
drag it onto land.
Yeah. They have piggyback fights, don't they?
Yeah, they do. Like what men do in rivers.
Yeah.
They then get a fire going, warm up a little bit, dry their clothes off, and while they're sitting around this fire, they hear a really loud explosion in the distance.
That was a gunshot.
It was a gunshot, but it was like proper.
Yeah,
loud.
it was like a blunderbuss.
It was. And we can see a shadowy figure in the distance.
Oh, can we?
Looking over
I missed that.
Yeah.
And they say, "Oh, we're in the country. What do you expect?"
Yeah, it's hunting season.
Yeah.
We're in the forest. It's going to happen. We'll be fine. And Stefan says, "I've got a really nice spot that I want to show you guys from because I used to come here when I was a kid."
Yeah, he knows the area ish.
Yeah, it's his kind. Yeah, it's his wheelhouse. So they go to this like top of this tower.
Yeah,
don't they? And take some nice photos.
It's a great view.
It's a lovely
See
view.
the forest for miles and miles.
Yeah.
There's a road in the distance, which is a plot point later.
Yes. It turns out Roman is trying to get a job with the rest of them. I think the rest of them all work together. And Roman's wife works with these people too.
Yeah.
And Roman wants to work with them. But then it's also revealed that Albert is Roman's brother.
Yeah, so Roman is the guy who we saw on the beach earlier.
Yeah, he's like main character.
So this is his stag do?
Yes.
We
don't find that out yet, but this is his bachelor party.
I don't know if they all work together, but certainly Roman is he's in consideration for a job at Albert's company.
Yeah. Lisa already works there. Lisa's his fiance.
Yes.
And Albert's his brother.
And Albert says, look, we've done all we can. It's up to the board now. It's up to the guys who make the decision. Yeah. But he sort of says, look, I'm told
it's a foregone conclusion.
It should be
a
formality.
Yeah.
And they're on the way back down from sort of the cliffside at this point.
Yeah.
And Albert, they spot a toy unicorn.
They do. They're
like a little beanie baby type thing.
Cuddly unicorn.
Sitting on a tree stump.
Yeah. So they pick it up.
Well, Albert pockets it.
Yeah, just puts it in his pocket and takes it. And that's where it's revealed that it's a bachelor party for Roman. Then Vincent and Roman kind of get cut off from the rest of the crew.
They're just a bit slower, aren't they?
2 other guys.
Yeah.
And Vincent falls into a cave.
He says, I'm scared of heights.
He's scared of heights, and they're trying to get
and
down
then he immediately
the side
slips on some mulch.
Yeah, they're trying to get down the side of this cliff face, aren't they? And he slips on some mulch, and he nearly falls, and Roman saves him.
Pulls him up out of a crevice.
He does. And then Vincent throws up everywhere.
Yeah.
So we've got Albert, Peter, Roman, Vincent, and Stefan.
Yeah.
There are 5 boys. Roman has the first of a few flashbacks in this movie at this point, and it's basically just trying to establish that he is in love with his fiancée. And this one,
it's a flashback to them, like they're still on the beach, whether on a holiday.
Yeah, they're on a holiday somewhere. He gets a bracelet made.
Yeah, she's got a bracelet made for him.
Yeah, with Love Lisa on it.
Yeah, which he's still got on his wrist.
Yes. Just as they've done that, their trek is coming to an end. They make it back to their car.
I think just in there as well, Albert gets a text message on his phone, and everyone's like, "Oh, put your phone away. It's no phones rules, lads." And he's like, "Oh, sorry, it's an important one," but we don't see what it is.
No,
but he quickly hides his
and
phone.
for the rest of this movie, there's no signal.
Yeah,
it was only in that one spot he seemed to get signal
to establish that. He had a phone on him.
Yes, I think so. They make it back to their car. They're done for their hike is done.
Yes.
Just as they are getting to their car, they hear another gunshot in the distance, and they're all like, "Jesus, that was much closer
than the one from earlier."
And Vincent's like, "Actually, it was really close because it's winged me."
Yeah,
it's like cut his arm, literally just missed him. Like he's bleeding from his arm.
Yes, he's been winged, as you say, by the bullet.
So they start shouting to the
"Don't
hunters,
shoot! There's people
Stop
here!
Shooting, there's people! You actually already hit one of us." Blah blah blah. Albert's like, "We've got a first aid kit in the car. Get to the car."
Yeah, and Stefan's like, "Oh, don't worry, it doesn't look too bad.
Yeah.
Let me patch it up and we'll get out of it."
And he does. He gets the first aid kit and he starts patching it up. And then it's another bottom of the stream trope, this. And it happens quite a lot in our movies, that people bandage their arms or legs or whatever over clothes.
Yeah.
It happens all the time. It's surprising how often. He just bandages him over his T-shirt. I'm like, that's pointless.
He's got a couple of layers on as well, Vincent has.
It has. It just made me laugh. Then they hear another gunshot and they start getting really angry now and they're proper shouting into the forest.
And they're like, right, let's get in the car, let's get out of here. This is
something's
stupid
going
now.
on here. And unfortunately, just as they're about to do that, they realise that gunshot took the car tyre out.
It did.
So they have a flat car tyre and no way to fix it. And that is when they realise that they might actually be in danger here. It appears they are being shot at.
Yes, they have no cell phone service, as you mentioned. One of them says, well, let's drive the car anyway. We can still get out of here on a flat tyre. Yeah. Let's at least get out of danger. So they all kind of agree that should be the plan. They make a move to get in the car and the windows are shot out.
Yeah, somebody shoots out the windows of the car. So they're like, right, we're sitting ducks here. We're in the middle of a clearing. We're being shot at. Let's make a run for the forest, get back into the forest. At least we've got some cover. We can get out of this. We'll regroup and figure out what we can do.
Yeah.
So they do. They make a run for the forest.
Just before they get to the edge of the clearing and into the woods.
Yeah.
Albert makes it into the woods, and then he says to Roman, who's the last one, my phone. I've dropped my phone. Get it for me, mate.
Yeah, go back for it.
It's like,
fuck you.
Make him get it himself. But Roman does.
Anyway. Yeah, he does go back for it. And as he's going back for it, something shoots at him again. And this proves that they are being shot at by whoever's shooting at them.
They kind of regroup, don't they, in the trees. And we see, as we do at several points through this movie, in the foreground, another trinket.
Yeah, it's like
on a log.
Yeah,
it's like a little
beads and feathers and things. Some child's toy. Yeah. One of them remembers that when they were on top of the tower earlier, they saw a road.
Yes.
And so they should probably head in that direction. And Stefan,
the plan is find a road, follow it, flag someone down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stefan knows the direction because he's been in this area before. He knows the way to go. So they all start following Stefan. Then Albert did he get stuck in a snare? I wasn't quite sure what happened.
No, so me neither. So Albert loses his foot in a hole.
Yes.
And he's like, I need help pulling it out. And my first thought was, has he been done by a bear trap?
Yeah.
And he's going to pull it out and he's going to have no foot.
Yeah.
But
I think it was just like a rabbit snare or something.
I don't know if it was, because it was like, I don't know if I was supposed to... Was he supposed to have been poisoned?
I don't know.
Well, because he pulls his foot out, rolls his sock down.
Yeah.
And it is like he's been...
Yeah, I guess you're right.
The flashback immediately goes to Roman remembering the time Lisa was stung by a jellyfish.
Yes, which appeared to be on the same holiday.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, is that supposed to be saying that this is a similar wound? Or...
I just thought it was a snare and he'd got a bruise on his leg, but you might be right.
But I don't know, because it never gets...
It never gets explained, and he never has any ill effects from it.
I more took it was a trap rather than he just put his
foot
in a hole.
Okay.
Maybe not a trap for him.
Yeah.
For a human, but then we never saw the snare
No, we didn't. They all untied him from something.
Yeah.
They went and helped him.
I didn't think it was clear.
Again, it was not important. Yeah, then like Nick said,
he's got a limp on him anyway.
We just limp for the rest of the movie now. Then, like Nick says, we have a flashback to Lisa getting stung by a jellyfish and Roman treating that. We cut back to the forest. Roman thinks it's probably all over now, but the others are not convinced. They're like, come on. And he's like, we haven't heard a gunshot in ages. And they cross the stream. It's always nice to see a stream on bottom of the stream.
Always is. Peter is like...
He's getting really angry.
He's angry. He doesn't want help from the others, like, crossing this stream. And, of course, he takes a misstep and he gets a wet foot.
Does get a wet foot, so he has to put his foot in a carrier bag, put his sock back on, put his shoe back on.
And rolls his... He rolls his... Like crisscross. Rolls his trouser leg up.
That's the second crisscross reference this week.
Is it?
In my head.
Yeah. Okay.
I can't remember what the first one was, but in my life, crisscross have been mentioned twice. Then they hear a helicopter go over, so they get excited, start shouting at that, but that just flies over.
Yeah, because they're in the woods.
Then they come to a fork in the road, so they can choose which way to go. Stefan seems to know the way where they're going, so they just follow Stefan.
Vincent has a bit of a breakdown at this point.
Yeah, Vincent's losing it a little
shot.
bit. He's been shot. He's also thrown up because he found that.
He's the scared one, isn't he?
Yeah, he's the weakest one.
There's more trinkets on trees and stuff.
Yeah,
as they're walking,
and they get to a lake. And when they get to this lake, there is a lady in the distance,
looking out over the water,
just standing there looking over the water. So they start shouting at her. They're like,
"Stefan's like, us? Can we?
Yeah,
we need some help.
We need some help. Somebody's shooting at us." And this lady turns around and acknowledges them and sees them, and then walks back to her stuff, picks up her shotgun and shoots Stefan clean in the top of the head. Takes the top of his head off.
It's probably the best scene in this movie.
By far, because I wasn't expecting it.
Yeah.
And this woman is the woman that's literally is shooting at these people and is now... She kills Stefan.
Yeah.
Like, shoots him straight between the eyes.
So they run.
Yeah.
The other four run. They go and hide in a ditch.
They hide. They go and hide in a hole. And as Albert jumps in this hole, he twists his ankle again.
Yeah.
So his ankle's fucked. Peter decides that we should go every man for ourselves. We should all go in four different directions.
4 different directions.
She can't follow all of us.
Strongest survives is what he says.
He does. The others are not up for that at all. They're like, no, we'll stick together. Albert might slow us down a little bit, but we're better together.
And I think this is my first problem with this movie.
Okay.
Peter's unlikable.
Very.
None of the others are much more likable.
No, there is that. Albert's definitely not a likable guy.
We don't see enough of Stefan.
No, Stefan's already gone.
Yeah.
Roman's okay.
Yeah.
But I don't really care if any of them died or not. So, yeah, you're fair. That's a fair comment. Another flashback. This time, Roman's treating Lisa's jellyfish sting, and also they're flirting on the bed together.
Yeah. He's talking to her about the job he's
Yes.
looking to get with Albert. So this isn't a flashback that's a million
No, I think this is a recent thing.
miles in the past. Yeah. And she says, look, just don't get screwed over by him.
Yeah, she doesn't
sort of
seem
implying that
convinced,
she
does she?
doesn't quite trust him, Albert, his brother.
Yeah.
She says, look after yourself.
Yeah.
Be careful.
Yeah, she doesn't seem convinced that they should go for this job. Cut back to the forest, and they find a paved road.
They do. Albert is limping really heavily by this point.
But the lady is still following them.
Yeah, we see her walking through the woods. It's the first time we see
her
up
close
physically, as apart from a shadow in the distance.
Yeah. Or by a lake.
Yeah, but as in actual pursuit of them, yes. I mean.
Yeah. She is still following them. They come across this, like, I don't really know what it was. A lodge, a shop, a cafe.
It was like a bothy / gift shop / shelter. But it was manned.
It was a woman.
Yeah, it was a woman.
There was a lady in there.
/ tourist information.
And they don't go in screaming, telling them what's happened. In fact, they
very
deliberately
annoyingly civil conversation.
Yes. So they say to her, call the police. And she's like, why? And he's like, oh, I'll just do it. And he won't tell her. No. He never says to her, our friend's just been shot. There's a woman with a gun.
Yeah.
He never tells her any of that.
No,
and she's frustrated me. And I'm like...
And she's like, well, I haven't got a signal, but I've got a landline. But be careful, it doesn't always work. It's a bit patchy.
Yeah.
But yes, you're right. At no point do they...
They say why why they're in trouble. The landline doesn't work. And then eventually Albert gets it.
He tries it a couple more times.
And they do get through to the cops. He does manage to have a small conversation with the cops.
And he gets out, we're here, my friend's been shot. And he says, we're at, and he turns to the counter girl and says, where are we? What's the name of this place? Yeah. She opens her mouth to speak.
Yep.
And then she's shot through the head.
Her head explodes. Yeah, the window goes through and her head goes through with it. Cut away, we look back and suddenly we find that Vincent's also been shot. He must have got caught in the aftermath of that.
Right in the neck.
Something's got him in the neck, whether it was a bit of glass from the window or the bullets through.
Dying quietly in the corner.
Yeah, he's just not even screaming, not said a word. They just notice that he's suddenly dying in the corner. And Roman crawls over to him to see if he's okay. And he looked like he was being dragged away. It was the way it was
they were
shot.
both crawling to each other.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Roman,
it was weirdly
shot. I thought he was going to get pulled into the darkness in a minute, but he didn't.
And also, she shot the actual phone, on the counter.
Yeah, she did, yeah.
Albert reaches back up for it, and you can still hear someone on the other end going, hello, hello.
Yeah.
And what a shot this lady must be.
She's a great sniper. Yeah, she shoots 2 bullets, kills 2 people, and takes her phone out.
Yeah.
Vincent dies. He dies just as Roman gets to him, he kind of passes out and dies.
And we hear footsteps.
Yeah.
She's outside.
She is. So
she might be inside. I don't know.
They make a run for it. They go back outside, back on the road, and start running again. And you can still see her. You can pretty much always see her in the background now. She's in the distance of all these shots.
She's parallel to them as they're walking along the road. And they spot her.
Yeah, they spot her before she sees them.
Yeah.
And then she does see them and start shooting at them again. And then suddenly, she's got them all at gunpoint. So she's caught them up. And all 3 of them are banged to rights. They're stood in the field, hands up, with her stood on the road, pointing a gun at them.
They say, what do you want? Who are you? What have we done?
Yeah.
What's happening?
And then she just lets them go.
Yeah, they just run off
into
the bracken.
And
then I was like, at this point, I was like, maybe it is a Predator movie. She's like doing it for sport.
It felt like a game at this point, didn't it? But that, knowing what I know, that scene doesn't make any sense now.
Yeah.
Why she let them go.
Yeah.
At the time, I was like, I wonder why she's done that.
Just because it spurs the movie on.
Yeah,
that's it. Which, is a fair criticism.
Yeah. They then trick her into going the wrong... Because she's still following them. She lets them go and then she follows them again.
Yeah.
And they trick her into going the wrong way. They throw some twigs and stuff and she goes the wrong way. And they manage to find some cabins. It looked like an abandoned holiday park.
Basically, yeah. Like a sort of... Yeah, log cabins.
Load of log cabins.
There's a little playground and a sort of a cafe. And,
but it's all shut up. It's all boarded up.
It's whether it's out of season or it's just not used anymore.
Looks like it had been abandoned a long time ago.
Peter says, right, we need to change the plan here.
Yeah.
He says, Albert is slowing us down.
Yep.
Roman, why don't we hide him in one of these houses?
Yep.
We'll come back for him when we've raised help.
It's a fair plan.
Yeah.
Roman tells him, I don't know if this was a subtitling or a dubbing issue, but he tells him to stop being bossy, which really made me laugh.
Oh, I didn't.
He's like, stop being so bossy.
I didn't think it was the worst plan.
No, I didn't think it was the worst plan. I think it's probably the best plan.
And we found out at this point that Peter is actually Albert's business partner.
Yes.
And they founded this company.
Whatever they do. I don't think it's ever explained what they do.
Where Roman is hoping to get a job.
Yes. So Peter's the money. He invested in it.
Yeah.
And Albert's the brains. Lisa was a graffic designer. They said that.
Okay.
So I don't know what this company does. But yeah, and so they start arguing about that.
They do. And Peter, considering Albert is on one leg, he manages to shove Peter down and sock him in the head.
He does. They have a proper argument, which makes Peter even more angry than he's been all the way through this movie. And he turns to Roman and he says to Roman, he's never going to give you a job. He never had any intention of giving you a job.
That's not happening.
And also, ask him about Lisa.
Yeah.
So Roman's like, I wonder what's going on with Lisa.
And then he just walks off. He's like, you're on your own.
Yeah, and they let him go. He walks off. They let him go off on his own.
Albert is like, Roman's obviously a bit discombobulated. So Albert's like, no, we don't need him. We're better together. We're brothers.
Yeah, we'll be fine.
Our best chance of surviving is sticking together.
Yeah. So Roman goes to have a bit of an explore.
Yeah, he just sort of leaves Albert. He's a bit angry himself, isn't he? So he goes to have a look around.
Yeah, it's all kicking off. And he finds a cabin with an eagle in a cage.
There's an aviary out the back with an actual eagle in it. A fully grown eagle.
Just in this tiny little cage.
Yeah.
No idea why. It's never mentioned again. It's just there.
We do get a clue in a minute.
Oh, do we?
But it still doesn't make sense as to why it's an eagle.
No. And he goes in this cabin, which is clearly somebody's living there.
Clearly, this is the lady's house.
Yes.
There's a little grave out the back.
Yes, there is.
A kid's grave.
Yeah. And there's pictures all inside.
Yeah.
There's also a really old computer in there. Which has just happened to queue up a video on the screen.
Well, just before that, so there's newspaper clippings on the wall.
Yeah.
About... And there's pictures of the woman who's pursuing them.
Yes.
And it says like that she is the next big superstar in the world of falconry.
Oh, okay. I didn't see that.
Yeah.
I didn't spot that.
But you don't falconry with an eagle.
No, you don't. Not very often, anyway.
Also, now that I know that, I'm thinking there's a real missed opportunity that no one got picked off by
an eagle
bird in this movie.
Oh, that would be so much better if she had like a crew of killer birds rather than a gun.
Yeah. She could
because that doesn't explain why she's a sick shot.
Yeah.
That would be awesome. Good killer eagles flying at these guys. Anyway, there's a computer in the cabin. It's a really old computer.
And just for absolute convenience.
Just a video paused on the screen that Roman clicks play on. And it's some almost like body cam footage of these hunters.
Yeah, drunk in the woods.
Drunk hunters. Looks like a little while ago. Walking through the forest.
And they come across the lake.
Yep. And the lady's there with her daughter.
Yeah.
With her kid.
They're like playing boats and stuff in the lake.
And
the drunk one's like, all right, love.
Yeah.
Fancy a bit of this.
And she's
lads.
She's like, don't point your gun at me and my kids.
And then the gun goes off.
And the lady screams.
The little girl is no more.
The little girl's face is gone. And her kid has been shot by hunters.
And at this point in my notes, I've just put, are you telling me she's just a random?
She's just a random.
And I'm like, I think I'm almost out at this point. I'm like, I wanted there to be a connection.
Yeah.
Not that this isn't a horrible thing that happened. Of course it is.
Yes.
But she's just some woman who's picking people off because she's
really angry at hunters now. Any hunter or anybody who's in the forest, which they're not.
They're just people in the forest.
Anybody in the forest, she's going to kill because she's somehow a crack shot sniper.
Yeah.
Who can shoot a phone through a window at a distance. Yeah, it did. It's an explanation. It's not a great explanation, but it is an explanation of why she's doing what she's doing. But it's not a good one. We cut back out onto the road. Peter's on his own. He's walking down the road.
Yeah.
And then he's like kindly mumbling to himself, like,
chuntering a lot. Yeah.
And then he says, "Fuck you guys." And then as he says that, he gets shot in the shin.
He does through his exposed shin because remember he's got one trouser leg rolled up from when he got a wet foot.
She takes his shin out. They both, Albert and Roman, both hear the gunshot in the distance. So Roman's like, "I'm going to see what that was."
He keeps walking forward.
He does, yeah. He keeps moving
until she shoots him in the other leg.
Yep. And then, so he's lying down. He's lying in the road now, looking up at her. She's looking down at him, and he starts begging her. He's like, "Look, if it's about money, I've got money. You can have money. I don't care." And she shoots him again in the shoulder, left shoulder.
And he's still begging.
And he's still begging. He's still screaming. He's still happy. And then she shoots him again in the other shoulder, and he's still up. He's been shot 4 times now, and he's still trying to talk around and trying to save himself. And then she shoots him in the head.
Yes.
And kills him.
Albert and Roman see this whole thing from the roadside. Yep. Sort of let out a scream. She swings round and shoots Albert in the shoulder.
She does. She manages to get a shot into Albert. So those two both run off again. Albert's not in a good way now. He's now got a broken ankle, potentially poisoned.
Yeah.
And has now been shot. So he's like almost passing out.
And they hole up near some rocks.
Yep. And they still. So Roman, while Albert's like almost asleep, Roman grabs his phone to see if he can get any signal now.
Yeah.
He still can't get any signal, but what he does find is texts from Lisa.
Yes.
Pictures.
Yes.
And text messages from Lisa.
In a state of undress.
Yes. And then we get another flashback. So we get a flashback to the day when Albert turned up at their house.
Yeah.
And he needed somewhere to stay. So they let him stay.
And he's like, "Oh, I hope you don't mind me interrupting your getaway."
No. Yeah, were they on this holiday still?
I presume they were on a
Yeah, okay.
A bit of a holiday.
So Roman's like, "No, it's fine, you're my brother, it's not a problem. I'm just about to go out and get some groceries." So he goes out and gets some groceries, and Albert goes in on Lisa. So they're clearly having an affair, which Roman has just found out about via these text messages and naughty pictures and figuring it out from the flashback. Come out of the flashback, Albert wakes up.
He's like, sorry.
Yeah. He
doesn't say sorry. He says, it was an accident.
Yeah, he does. He says it was an accident. He figured it out quite quickly that Roman knew because his face was like pure anger.
And then I thought this was quite a good line. Albert says, "Do you want an apology?" And Roman says, "No, that would mean you'd have to be sorry."
Oh, that is a nice line.
Yeah.
That is a good line. And then Roman knocks him out, punches him in the face.
He palm strikes him.
He does, yeah, he does. Like, whammo. Knocks him unconscious. And but he doesn't leave him there. He drags his body behind a rock to keep
puts
him
safe.
In
some cover.
So she can't see him. And he takes this bracelet off that he wears and throws it at him.
Yeah.
And then he can hear the woman coming.
Yeah, his footsteps.
Hiding behind this rock. So he cuts a piece of Albert's t-shirt off.
Yes.
Which is a white t-shirt. So I thought he was going to wave it as a white flag.
No, but he says, "Albert, keep pressure on your gunshot wound." And then he takes the little toy unicorn that Albert had since the start of the movie.
And he goes after this woman.
He does. He trails her.
And he finds a cave.
Yeah.
Where he goes inside the cave and there's dead bodies in there.
So she's moved both Peter and Stefan's body into this cave.
And Vincent's was in there.
Oh, was it?
I think all three of them
were in
there.
It was quite dark. So she's done well to haul them around.
She has.
Because we're talking not easy terrain.
No, not at all. And she's been chasing them. I don't know how she's had time to do it. She's been chasing them the whole time. There's 3 bodies in this cave. And he sneaks up behind her. She's on
She's on top of a ridge.
Yeah.
I guess she's looking for where they've gone.
Yeah, she's lost them. And he gets up on this ridge as well and he sneaks up behind her.
He's got a knife. Did he take that from one of the bodies?
Yes.
I think so.
He did. I can't remember which one, but he did. But he's got a knife. He sneaks up behind her. She hears him coming. and flicks around and shoots him in the leg.
Yeah.
And he's like, look, I know about Anne.
Yes, your daughter. I saw the video.
Yeah, and he's like, I'm really sorry that this has happened to you. And he gives her the toy unicorn back.
It out?
And
there's, for a brief second, there's a crack in her facade.
She almost cries.
Yeah.
But doesn't.
And Roman kicks the rifle out of her hand.
He does, yeah. They have a fight. Basically, he knocks her over. They have a fight. He manages to disarm her. And he points the gun at her, so as if he's going to shoot her. Yeah. But then he throws the gun away.
Yes. So they fight a bit longer. She mounts him for a bit.
Yeah.
And then punches him in the bullet hole.
Ouch.
And he ends up with the rifle.
He does end up with the rifle. And then he points the rifle at her, throws the rifle away. And then she just looks at him dead in the eyes and throws herself backwards over this ridge.
Yeah.
And kills herself, basically. Just falls to her death.
Yeah.
And then Roman sits with his back against a rock.
Sighs.
And that's where your movie ends.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
I liked the first half an hour. I thought the ending was garbage.
The ending was terrible.
I thought... if I'm truly honest, I really disliked it from the point at which I found out this was just a random woman.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think I did as well.
I was expecting there to be a connection.
Yeah, to them.
Yeah.
And there wasn't.
And if there's not a connection... then I want to know more about this woman.
Yeah.
Has she been doing this for years? Is there a whole stack of
dead hunters,
bodies and bones in that cave? But no, we weren't showing that either.
The woman has no lines at all in the movie. She never speaks. Not a single line of dialogue passes her lips.
And even if I didn't feel I got resolution. So even if this was the ending, with her, having caused all this murder and throwing herself off the cliff, I needed more. I needed then a bit more to say. I wanted Roman to get his closure. So I wanted to see him telling Lisa that he knows, and he's walking away.
We don't get any of that.
No,
he just leaves Albert in a cave. We never see if he lives or dies.
Yeah, I wanted to see the end. What's the end of his story? Just I didn't.
Yeah,
there's a couple of things it could have done. It didn't do any of them. It did nothing.
It didn't.
And that really disappointed me.
It's a random lady shooting at random men in a forest.
Yeah,
my first thought was, maybe it's because they picked up this toy unicorn and it's angered her, and but the first shot is before they pick up that uniform.
Yeah,
that uniform. So that can't be the explanation. So she's just an angry lady in a forest, shooting people because her daughter's been killed. But like you said, how long has she done this for? How long ago was that?
Yeah.
She can't have been doing it for long because there's no other dead bodies in her cave. And surely she'd get arrested.
Did she even kill those first two hunters?
Don't know. Never says.
No, exactly.
Unless they were the other two bodies in the cave and it was only Peter's body.
No, it was definitely Peter. I'm sure it was Peter.
It definitely was Peter. But then the other two bodies were a bit around the corner and there was fly noises. So maybe they could have been there a bit.
It was very dark.
It was
very dark. Really tell. Because Peter had a yellow coat on.
Yeah, so it was definitely him. Yeah, there's just something annoyingly missing from it. Because it doesn't take a lot to make this a decent little thriller.
At times it has the tension.
Yeah.
The scenery speaks for itself. It looks
it's beautiful,
amazing.
Yeah,
but
it's all autumnal, isn't it?
There's no character. There's no character. I don't care about any of the guys.
No, we don't get in. We don't. All we see and
all we learn from the flashbacks is they're all idiots.
Yeah,
they're all horrible. Apart from Roman, who we don't know enough about.
Yeah.
Who also might be, but they don't do anything to tell us he's a good guy.
We don't even know, apart from Albert being Roman's brother, we don't even know the relationship. Why is...
Are they in a good place, bad place?
We don't know the relationship between the other guys. Why is Albert's business partner on Roman's stag do?
Yeah.
Who were Vincent and Stefan?
And it's almost like they set something up there when Peter's like, well, he's never going to give you this. Well, why?
Yeah, why wasn't it? What was he trying to do?
Why is he stringing you along then?
Is he feeling guilty because of his having this affair with your fiancée?
Yeah.
But none of that is explained, and it's so frustrating because it doesn't take a lot.
Because if you've set these things up, you could have those character moments.
Yeah, easily.
In these high-stress situations while they're trying to escape this lady. But they don't do any of that.
No.
And then, like you say, we don't know anything about the woman other than she's a falconry expert and
whose daughter's
sniper.
Been killed. Yeah. How she's a good sniper, I don't know. And
it's unforgivable that there was no falconry-based deaths.
Yeah, if she's a falconry expert, then
she should have a fleet of killer birds. Just,
it's half-hearted, isn't it?
Yeah, left me really,
a bit cold.
really flat and like, wow.
It's not
almost. I would go as far to say that I felt like a waste of my time.
Oh wow! Okay.
So it's just. I just thought it was really disappointing.
Yeah, I agree.
It got to a point where I was like, yeah, okay, we've set some good stuff up here, can get creative, and it went safe. Every time it could have done something interesting,
it went safe.
It didn't do anything, or it went safe.
I think that's a fair comment. I mean, like, it is unforgivable that we just don't know why this woman's doing this, or how she has the skills to do it, or how long she's been doing it for, or why she just decided she was going to kill herself at the end.
Yeah.
Because it implied that she got that unicorn back, and that was enough for her to have finished her story, and she's happy to die now. But they just found that in the forest.
Yeah.
It wasn't
and it had been left as all the other things.
Stuff had been left.
Because it was a choice for us to be shown all these trinkets that had been left around the woods.
Yeah. So are they implying that because they picked one of those up, that she was angry? But then the first gunshot happened before they picked that up, so it can't have been. I don't know. It's frustratingly. We see this quite often, where it's like it doesn't take a lot to turn a half decent movie into a good movie.
There's no character work in this.
Yeah, it just needs a few more lines of dialogue to explain why this is happening.
Yeah,
and then you're halfway there.
But yeah, make me care about some of these people.
Yeah,
and there's nothing like that.
Yeah, fair comment. What's the best thing about it?
It looks great. It does look great.
It is, but it's well directed.
It's well cinematographed. Is it well directed? It has its moments where it's well directed.
Yeah, it was a nice setting. It's handy that you've got this abandoned holiday camp and an abandoned cafe and stuff.
It ended up very much reminding me of Red Dot.
Yeah, it is.
I seem to remember this was a similar reaction that we had.
Now you've mentioned Red Dot.
And that was the Swedish version of this movie, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
Which I think had a lot of the.
We've seen this movie done quite a few times when you think about it.
Yeah.
Because you could even put in there the lesbian couple. What was that one? Really early doors.
Yeah, it was like season 1.
It's just done. I've got no capacity of memory of these.
That's movies. Because we've done like 200.
Yeah.
200 movies plus.
It's. I can see the poster here. It's the third one in season 2.
I can't read.
Can't read it from here.
I can. I have ways and means, so I can find out for you. Problem is now I've got a different movie stuck in my head, which I know is the wrong title. Yeah. We have seen the sort of
this
stranded
movie a few times.
Yeah, stranded in a wilderness, and it all goes wrong quite a bit.
What Keeps You Alive?
Yeah,
it's called What Keeps You Alive. Yeah, it's very similar to What Keeps You Alive. It's very similar to Red Dot. It's very similar to Caliber. It's very similar to Hold the Dark.
A classic horror story.
A classic horror. We've just seen this movie done so many times. Yeah. I feel like we've seen it
slightly different twists.
But I feel like we've seen it done better, more than we've seen it done worse than this.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, 100%. It's left me unmoved.
Agreed.
This movie.
Should we talk stream table?
Let's do that.
22nd movie going into this stream table.
Okay.
Shall I read through the whole thing?
Sure.
Currently number 21 is Meet the Blacks, 20 Riptide, 19 Hard Feelings, 18 The Great Chinese Beans, 17 Bloody New Year, 16 The Utah Cabin Murders, that's another one, 15 Strange Race Here We Come, 14 Rogue Agent, 13 Mad Dogs, 12 Hypnotic, 11 The Influence. The current top 10 is Sundogs at number 10, Green Sea at number 9, Bubble at number 8, Finder's Fee at number 7, Ambush at number 6, Security at number 5, The Girl in the Yellow Jumper at number 4, 60 Minutes at number 3, The Call is at number 2, and currently at the top of the stream is The Lost Patient, which I don't think is being challenged this week.
No, it's not being challenged this week. I think I might have this pretty low.
Okay.
on my personal, just following along as you're reading up there, I think it sort of goes in a sort of 11th to 16th. It's that portion of the table.
Okay.
I mean, I would be tempted to have it in 16th.
Just above the Utah cabin. Maybe.
Yeah.
They're two quite similar movies.
When I think, did I enjoy this more or less than Strange Ways Here We Come? I'm thinking slightly less.
I'm thinking slightly less than the Utah cabin murders.
Okay.
Oh, I don't even know if I'm
which is weird because as I was watching it, it wasn't in my mind that this was that low down.
That's a good point.
I wasn't watching it going, "Oh, dislike this." By the end of it, I was like, "Yeah, it annoyed me for all the reasons we've talked about."
That's a good point though, because I was quite enjoying this until the ending happened, and then I'm like, "Oh, the ending's kind of ruined it."
Yeah,
but the movie itself is okay.
Yeah.
So maybe that does trigger it up a couple of spaces. Shall we put it below Strange Ways Here We Come?
Yes.
Yeah.
Which, like I say, I feel is almost surprising. I don't feel coming into this I was thinking that it was that low, but looking at the list, I'm like, yeah, it's missed potential. This movie, I feel.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Maybe more so than a lot we've had this season.
Yeah, because it doesn't take a lot to turn this into a half decent. It takes a lot to turn it into a good movie. It doesn't take a lot to turn it into a half decent movie, I don't think.
Yeah.
Okay, 16th.
Yeah.
22 movies in there now. There's only 3 left.
Okay, exciting.
Shall we pick the next one?
Yes, let's do it.
We get Robin to do it?
Yes.
What do you want from next week, Nick?
I would like. I want something that's gonna. So we've got 3 left. I'd like to have at least a couple that make us have a. I don't care on the genre. I want a couple of last minute challenges to the top.
Something good.
3.
Something good is what you're saying. Okay, I'm going to press the button. Are you ready?
Yes.
Robin has picked us a movie called Ravenous.
Okay.
Any ideas?
None whatsoever.
Take a guess.
It's about food trucks.
Good shout. It's not. It's Canadian.
Okay.
It's French Canadian.
Okay.
So the film's in French. Would you like a synopsis of Ravenous?
Yes, please.
According to IMDb, it's an action-adventure drama horror sci-fi thriller.
Oh, lovely. Make up your mind.
Synopsis?
Yes.
After an apocalypse where most of the population in the small locations in the woods has turned into ravenous zombies, survivors join forces expecting to go to the protection of the big city. However, their journey becomes hopeless when they learned what happened in other locations.
Okay. I suggest that may have been translated.
It's basically a French-Canadian zombie movie.
I'm up for it.
Set in the woods again.
I feel like we've not done zombies for a while.
We haven't done many zombies at all, have we?
I don't think so.
Feels
like a while.
We've done The Cured. That was the Irish one. Years and years ago.
Yeah. We did
that French one.
Yes, the guy who had to run over the rooftops in Paris. Quite like that one. I'm sure there's more. Again, as I said, we've done too many films
to remember them all.
For me to be able to recall them at a drop of a hat.
We need some sort of like reference guide. We can reference things.
Like a one-pager.
Yeah. So anyway, go out and watch Ravenous, and in the meantime, check us out on Instagram and Letterboxd at BOTS_podcast. If you want to drop us an email, our email address is bottomofthestream@gmail.com, and our website is bottomofthestream.com. On our website, you will find every episode we've ever recorded, loads of other cool stuff, all of the stream tables, and you can even get some merch if you want to buy a Bottom of the Stream.
Fluffy Unicorn.
Fluffy Unicorn. That's my nickname for you.
Yeah, true.
After you've done all of that, head over to Patreon, patreon.com/bottomofthestream. On there, for £5 every month, you will get early access to episodes. You'll get bonus episodes. You will get exclusive access into an exclusive area of Discord, and you will also get a wild card, which means you can pick the movie, give Robin the week off. If you pick the best one of the season, you will win a prize. And then after you've done all of that, head into the Discord. The Discord is a wonderful group of wonderful people who will talk to you about anything. We play games, we do watch-alongs, we've got all sorts of cool stuff planned for the Discord coming soon. And the Discord link is in the bottom of the show notes.
If you can spare a few minutes, please consider leaving us a rating and review anywhere you can review and rate podcasts. It really helps get the word out about our show, puts us in more people's ears, in front of their eyes, and gets more people into our Discord. You can find us anywhere you find podcasts: Spotify, Podbean, Podchaser, YouTube Music, Apple Podcasts. We're on all of those places.
We are indeed.
Can you believe another season is winding its way toward its end?
I can't believe it. Not only is it another season, it's the 10th season.
Yes.
It's the big season. I can't believe it. This season's flown by.
It really has.
It really, really has.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're getting there. 3 more weeks after this one.
Oh, into Botska time.
Of course, yeah. Botska's at the end of this season.
Yeah.
We'll have to do some thinking on how we're going to do that.
And then what new things may season 11 bring?
That doesn't seem like a year since the last Boskas.
Oh, there you
That's
go.
Crazy. Yeah, what can season 11 bring us?
Wow.
Stay tuned to find out over the next few weeks. Think about that one,
yeah.
Right, let's get out of here. Thank you for listening. Go out and watch
Ravenous.
And we'll be back on Monday for The Wave and next Thursday for the movie show.
Cheers.
Bye.